At the gates of Tucson's cathedral, the Wildcat waits, not as a symbol, but as a warning. And the nation was put on notice on Monday night when Arizona knocked off the Gators and Koa Pete scored the most points for an Arizona freshman in 53 years. Their opponent tonight, Utah Tech. Ethan Potter averaging 19 a game. Utah Tech averaging nearly 96 a game. We may have ourselves a high-scoring affair. Utah Tech, Arizona, right now on TNT. It's here. College basketball is in full swing, and we are excited to be right in the middle of it in Studio B. This is TNT Sports College Basketball Pregame presented by Vanda Pharmaceuticals. Adam Lefkoe alongside a man from the Fab Five, Jalen Rose. To my left, Monster Mash, Jamal Mashburn, and we have the big brain all the way at the end of the table, Bruce Pearl, who is watching every game on TV right now as if he's going to be coaching tomorrow. Coach, what are we thinking about this season of college basketball? Because Arizona is a great launching point, picked fourth. Now all of a sudden they're going to be a top 10 team. How long until we really know who the upper crust is?
My question is, are you not entertained?
Yes, for real.
This is like unbelievable. Arizona was supposed to be the fourth best team in the Big 12, and they beat the defending national champion. I'm excited about what I'm seeing. There's a high level of play early on. We're looking at Kansas, North Carolina right now playing great basketball.
For real.
And so, no, I think this year college basketball is really going to deliver. I was impressed with Arizona.
Do you have one team that you believe is better than the rest, or is it more open than in years past?
Well, I think because of NIL and the transfer portal, I think there's a lot to be said. I think, look at college football this year. 3 teams that picked in the top 5 aren't going to be in the playoffs. So I think the rosters have been changed. It's what to watch for. We're going to have to watch it play itself out.
We are obviously excited to see Koa Pete again, the freshman phenom, but it was that 2-man game with Jaden Bradley that really caught our attention. 54 points, and you're about to have the entire light of the camera block.
Get out of here. What's up, man?
For those that are unaware, this is Dr. Shaquille O'Neal.
It's so good. Am I taking your seat? Wait, I need to get up
Wait,
and
you
let
ain't going
him
to
sit
dap
down.
up Jamal Mashburn? You're just going to walk away? Just comes in with a white turtleneck and leaves.
Looking all handsome. Look at him looking good. Look at him.
That's crazy, huh?
Big fella looking good.
Like on an off day.
Yes, indeed.
What's going on, baby?
Sorry to interrupt. My bad.
Oh, please
We
do.
good, man. Pull up a chair.
No. You got another job. Congratulations on your honor. I saw you on Ebony. Thank you, brother.
So good.
You know, I do a podcast with him, and I don't even get a handshake. See how that goes? So instead of focusing on a big man like Koa Pete and a guy like Shaquille O'Neal, we're going to focus on Jaden Bradley. Went out there, had 27 points, didn't even shoot a 3, didn't even need a 3. The team overall only shot 5 threes, but he was a part of an Arizona performance where they shocked the college basketball world on Monday with their upset over Flow. And what a season opener it was for the Arizona Wildcats. And the new, I'm just going to say it, face of the backcourt, Jaden Bradley with a career-high 27 points, joining us now before this game of Utah Tech. Jaden, to see that 2-man game between you and Koa was special. What is it like now being the #1 option for Arizona? How does that sound?
Yes, sir. You know, definitely excited, having that responsibility on my shoulders, and every night I'm gonna go and take care and handle that. And Koa did a great job of just being open and just simple reads. It wasn't anything complicated, just simple pocket passes.
Hey, Jaden, Jamal Mashburn here. I really love your game. I really enjoy what you've been able to do, not only as a scorer, but how has your leadership been, and how has that improved throughout the course of your college career, not only to make an impact on the court, but off the court as well with these young freshmen?
Yes, sir. Just, throughout my career, I've been at different situations, losing a lot of key pieces last year, C-Love, big leadership guys, and, just stepping in and just knowing where to put my teammates in the right situations. And, I want them to be successful. And, I feel like we have a great chance to do that.
Hey, Jaden, it's Coach Pearl.
Yes,
Brother,
sir.
do you remember who your first college offer was from when you were in 8th grade?
Yes, sir. I do remember. Yes, sir.
Tell me who it was.
It was you. It was you, Coach.
It was the Auburn Tigers. Hey, listen, you won a national championship at IMG in the state of Florida. Like, was that any motivation on Monday night going up against the Gators, having played high school ball in Florida for a couple of years?
It's always, anywhere I can find extra motivation is big for me. And, familiar with the, Florida, the area. Florida had a great program, national champions last year. And, we went out, and I'm proud of my guys. We handled business.
Jaden, it's Jalen Rose. It was a joy to cover you guys during the tournament last year as I watched you lead the team in assists, steals, and minutes. And it's awesome just to watch your game grow. What is your expectations of this year's team?
Yes, sir. It's a long season. I'm proud of my guys and what we did. And, I told them don't get too high, don't get too low on these wins and losses. We just got to keep stacking days. And, we got a young core. We got some vets as well. And, I just want them to get better day by day. And, I'm excited to see, where we can take this season.
We got anything special on the feet tonight? I know you're a bit of a sneakerhead.
We just got some KD7 Aunt Pearls. Nothing too crazy yet.
Nothing too crazy. All right, just make sure Bruce gets some next
Just
time.
a new KD.
Yeah, just
nothing
the
too
new
crazy.
stuff.
Nothing too crazy.
Jaden Bradley, awesome to watch you play. Can't watch you work tonight. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Coach, you loved them in 8th grade. What did you love about the game on Monday night?
Well, starting off with this patience, wait for everybody to get set right there. See the balance of the floor right there? A flat screen. Pete comes from the bottom. They duck in on the backside to occupy the help there, okay? And then we're going to get that ball off the Pete. He's going to go downhill, and have an advantage, disadvantage at the rim. Really good play. Now, this is in transition, okay? A very similar set. We're going to, again, wait for them to get set, refuse the ball screen, get downhill. You've got Pete at the rim in case there's rotation, and that's called making it tough, too. All right, 3 minutes to go in the game. Don't be in a rush. This is just a little Fox action to get, Florida moving a little bit without the ball. There's a screen, and now the rescreen. They go to the double side. The slot dives. He's got 2 bigs at the rim, but instead, that screen to seal the help, letting Jalen Bradley get there. Those middle ball screens and the combinations of those middle ball screens is what make that difficult to govern.
Well, Jalen Rose was the point guard. I was a backup point guard. When you look at that tape and you look at Jaden Bradley, and Jalen can attest to this, that's the most difficult. The pick and roll is probably the most difficult thing to pick up because there's a lot of decision making. You often think it's the guy you're supposed to dump it to, but when you come off that screen, you got to come off looking to score. And that's what he does a good job of, come off looking to score, to make his own shot, and then what's left open, then you dish it because you got to make yourself valuable and make the defense collapse. And I love what combo guards have the ability to do. And as he progresses more and more, his decision-making is already uncanny, but his scoring ability is elite as well.
And also his leadership and his maturity. Because when you have a super frosh like Pete, you got to nurture them in a way where, yes, you may be the high draft pick prospect, but I'm the senior point guard. And that dynamic of trust is really something that you have to navigate throughout the season. And I appreciate that it seems like already, because the first thing he said in the interview was the drop pass was easy.
Right.
To Pete.
Right.
That means they're figuring out that they can be a great 1-2 punch, and I enjoy watching it.
And if there's a freshman that's going to understand senior leadership, it is a winner like Koa Pete, who has won at every single level. We were blown away by his play. We were blown away by his interview after the game. We've had a few more days to think of it. And you're still kicking yourself. You didn't put him in the top 3 guys for freshman college basketball.
Well, we put 3 guys out there, plus Caleb Wilson, who's having a big night for North Carolina right now. But obviously, Mash, look at the way he gets out of the ball screen and puts pressure on the rim.
Yeah, he does a great job of using his feet and quickness and ability to run the lane. And also, he's a great diver. That causes so much attention. And underrated when you're utilizing basically his hands. People don't really talk about guys and big guys who can actually catch the ball. That's a valuable skill to have because as a point guard, you don't want to toss it to somebody and get a turnover.
Mash, he's doing stuff that you did in year 3 at Kentucky. He's doing it right now as a freshman.
Yeah, he's probably more physically gifted than I was. I think the difference between me and him is I could probably put it on deck a little bit better than he can, but he'll evolve into that as he gets to the next level. But right now, he's playing to his strength.
So I'm curious, Coach. Tommy Lloyd always has a highly efficient offense. They're very moving. Does it change when you have a force down low? How do you think Tommy's going to adjust his offense with this incoming freshman?
I think he's excited about this year's team because there's a couple of things they really need to improve on from last year. One, they have to shoot it better. We don't know what that's going to be like, but they've got to defend it better. He's got size, and size matters. Yeah. And those guys have tremendous rim protectors. Arizona's front line outplayed the best front line in college basketball. They didn't just outplay them. They put the wood on them. With Pete being a matchup problem, Awaka, he's a tough guy. He's the first guy you want to fight. He's going to make hard fouls. He's going to intimidate. Okay, Karchenkov, he is an eight. Well, I don't know how old he is, but he's a pro from Europe. He was a pro at 12 years old in Munich. He's knocking down threes. And then, obviously the big fella, Kravitz. He's protecting the rim. Those four guys, they're going to give Florida a run for the best front line.
You just said the key, though, Coach. Karchenkov, who was in the EuroLeague last year, he's been a pro. If Arizona's going to cut down the nets this year, the one weakness I saw, they got to make threes.
Yeah. And he was the only one.
He was the only person to make threes for their team. They made two, and he made the only ones. If they're going to win it this year, they got to shoot the three better.
I think depth, too. Depth. They only played 7 guys. Okay, so we did, early in the season, we got to see somebody else come off the bench.
Well, the other important thing we got to remember, they're playing Utah Tech. This is not Texas Tech.
No.
And so you got to think about the consistency that you got to have no matter who the opponent is if you want to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. Play the opponent in front of you. Don't get ahead of the curve. Just go out and be consistent with your principles and your core values and show up every night to compete.
Crazy about Karchenkov. Over the last 20 years, the only other Arizona players to have a double-double in their first game, DeAndre Ayton and Aaron Gordon. And you got Karchenkov going out there hitting the 2 threes and the double-doubles. Arizona fans loving the Jaden Bradley love right now. Don't worry, Sal. We got you covered. Koa Pete gave real Bancaro vibes in that Florida game.
I like it, agreed.
We have some highlights of some big college basketball coming up and a game that these guys don't know about next in the pregame show.